I'm jumping in.
Good evening, JEZZLERS. I thought I'd do something a little bit different this week. Sorry, there's a crack in my screen. It's just gonna be what it is. It does kind of make me look like I'm going into the light though. Anyways, I'm just reaching a lot of new frontiers this year. The year started and I started booking gigs, and then I started playing with a band, and then my band grew, and then we played bigger gigs, and it's just like now I'm releasing an album, and there's just a lot in my life that's like changing and a lot of goals that are being reached. I'm having a lot of insights about what brought me to this point, and I thought it might be a fun idea to give some advice on people who maybe don't know how to navigate taking a leap in their life or pursuing an artistic career, or not an artistic career, just like pursuing something different than what they're pursuing now. If you follow this channel, you kind of have a little bit of an idea of my journey. I didn't always know that I wanted to do music. One of my parents got sick, and that kind of twisted my whole world and really propelled me forward to pursuing things that I actually wanted to pursue and not what I thought I should. So the first thing for me was I had something in my life that kind of made me look at my life differently. It put the stakes of everything in my life like way higher. Granted, I was young too. So this is the first big thing in my life that had happened where I was like, wow, things change and I don't have control over everything, and also change is kind of inevitable. That was a big thing for me to like be confronted with the things that I wanted and given an opportunity by life to make a decision. I don't think that that's unique to me. Things are always changing in everyone's life. You're always given opportunities. It's whether or not you see that as an opportunity, I guess. And that's not like seizing the moment. It's more just you can either choose to stay in your comfort zone, and when things get uncomfortable, you can backpedal, or you can sit with the discomfort long enough to have that decision presented to you. That's like the first thing, is really just like sitting with discomfort to be able to let the opportunities come, because if you're in survival mode, you're not going to recognize them. The second thing, I have this thought like maybe once every few months where I'm sick of letting the opinion of people dictate what I actually think about myself. What I mean by that is, for example, right now I want to expand my scope. I want to play in different cities. I want to play with different bands. I want to, maybe venture out into different genres. So I'm reaching out to different bands that I've heard of or I know of, or venues in different cities. And there's this voice that pops up, and it's not even a voice. It's more like an instinct to run away, because in my mind I'm already preparing for the rejection. Or when I'm reaching out to bands that I know maybe have a bigger following, sometimes I get a little imposter syndrome, and I'm like, what makes me think that I have the right to play on the same stage with this band? It just made me realize that I don't think anyone gets to decide whether or not I'm worthy of being on a stage with a different band or someone who I've never played with. I think what you think of yourself and the limits that you set for yourself really matter, because if you're telling yourself that you're not good enough in whatever way, shape, or form, you're not going to be good enough. It doesn't matter what opportunities come by. It doesn't matter who says what about you. If you're not able to push past those feelings too, and sit with those feelings long enough to actually DM the band, to actually show someone some piece of art that you made, it's never gonna happen. So someone who is maybe wanting to pursue something, but they don't feel like they belong. No one belongs anywhere. No one is destined for anything. No one's gonna make space for you. You have to carve it yourself. All it really takes is you showing up. You claim the space. So when you say, hey, I belong here, everyone goes, okay. Instead of being like, I don't think I belong here, whatever, everyone's gonna go, okay. What you view yourself as, the things that you're telling yourself, it's gonna come true no matter what. Choose to think highly of yourself. Choose the things that you want. And yeah, it might be uncomfortable for like a minute. It might be weird to have to like rebrand yourself, quote unquote. It might be odd to show up as a different identity in front of people that you know and that know you. But in the grand scheme of things, it's a very small window of discomfort. It takes a minute, yes, and it is uncomfortable, and I'm not invalidating that experience at all, but that's just the entry point. So you have to go through it. You gotta change. You gotta pivot your life in the way that you want to. It's not like you have to fix it. You just have to like let go a little bit and be like, this is the thing I want, and I just have to trust it enough that I will sit with the ripples. So choose to believe in yourself. Choose to believe the best in yourself. Carve out your own space in the world. And if you keep waiting for it, you're just gonna keep waiting for it. The last thing I wanna say, and this is something I'm very actively relearning, there is no right way to exist. And that sounds so cliche, but there's no right way to go about anything. So when I quit my job and I did just music for a few months, I got really bogged down by that. I thought that because there were days where I didn't have much to do, or because there were days where I had this giant to-do list, but the thing that really I needed to do was rest, even though it was a Tuesday, I would make myself wrong. I still do. I think it's human nature to feel like you're not doing enough. That's crazy. I actually don't think that's human nature. I think that's conditioning. I think it's very conditioned in this society, in America, that you're not doing enough and there's always more to be done, because we're taught if you work harder, you're going to get further. And that's honestly just a message to keep you in the system, to keep you like a cog in the wheel, but that's a story for a different day. Anyways, it's just important to note, especially during transition stages in your life, especially if you're taking a big leap, it's gonna be a lot of uncertain days. It's gonna be a lot of not knowing what's going on, a lot of you feel like your life is falling apart. I had weeks of stretches where I didn't feel like I was doing anything. Even if I sat down and wrote out the things that I was doing, I was like, it's just not enough. That's gonna happen. Just give yourself grace with it, because there's no right way to exist. I've noticed that pivoting my life to be more creative and to center the things that I want to center in my life, which are like my passions, it doesn't look like a 9-to-5. You don't sit down at a desk for 8 hours and have this concentrated window of time where you're like really productive. There's no consistent schedule when you're living a creative life. It's just what works for you. And a 9-to-5 schedule, like that might work for a lot of people. It doesn't for me, and that really confused me, because there was a way that I was taught my whole life of what it looks like to be productive, of what it looks like to be working and making progress. And the creative lifestyle, it's not like that. It's so bottom up. Like the roots have to plant in order for the flower to grow, but you don't see the flower when the roots are rooting into the ground. You see the flower at the end. Along the way, you just kind of have to trust that there's going to be a flower in a way. Whereas I feel like a lot of ways that we're taught to exist is you see the flower and you have to emulate it. Like you have to do everything that you can to make it look exactly like that flower. You have to really just trust the roots, and you have to trust the fact that you are growing even when you don't see it. It's just a lot of trust and a lot of letting go. That's my third piece of advice. Give yourself grace. It's gonna look very different for everybody, and be nice to yourself. If you need to harness that before you pursue something, if you need to cultivate some sort of self-trust, do it. But I'll also say this, for myself specifically, I can sit down with a journal for hours and hours and hours, but what really actually builds my self-trust isn't the intellectualizing of it. It's going out and doing the things that scare me, going to the performances, it's buying the guitar, it's posting the song. And when I don't want to do that, if I'm DMing this band that I want to play with and I feel like I shouldn't DM them, I'm not there yet, okay, then I'm not there yet. If I do, I'm telling myself, you're worthy of that spot. It's all about what you tell yourself. Those are my little nuggets of advice. If you have any questions, or if you have any like specific things that you want me to address, feel free to comment if you're struggling with something, or if you want a piece of advice, or if you're just curious about something in my life and you think that might help you in some way. I'm an open book, so please comment. Maybe I'll make a whole video on it. I don't know. Thanks for listening. On a side note, look how long my hair is getting. #growth. I'm gonna quote the perks of being a wallflower. We accept the love we think we deserve. So accept the best, because you deserve the best. We as human beings, we're creating our lives. So take the responsibility of being a creator and create your life. You are all capable and deserving of the life that you want. Do whatever you gotta do to do it. And change sucks, but it's way easier to go through a really hard year than a really miserable 35 years. Thanks for listening. I hope that you got something from this, and if you didn't, I hope that you enjoyed my talking. I will be at Ope Brewing tonight from 6:30 to 8:30, so you should definitely stop by. Ope is a really cute spot in West Dallas. They got a patio. It's gonna be awesome. Also, tomorrow I will be playing at the Locust Street, Oakland Street block party, so you should come by. I'm gonna be playing around 6. That's gonna be with my band. That'll be on Saturday, June 6th. Thanks so much for listening. As a reminder, my debut album, Cloudy Skies, comes out on July 31st. I'm working on merch and stuff for that, so stay tuned. Don't forget about my gig that day. It's actually gonna be a live album recording. So if you come, you're gonna be featured on the album, which I will eventually release on all streaming platforms. So definitely save that date. I love you and I believe in you. And I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Bye, Jezzlers.